So I glued together this dinosaur I 3D printed. I got it off, or it was from Lord of the Print, I believe, and glued it together with some super glue. And I also later blended it together using some milliput to fill in some of those seams there. Now, the original plan was to make a sort of platform on his back, but I ended up not doing that. I also decided to rip his face off and glue on this thing from Warhammer that looked like some weird tentacle thing or something. I cut in half some clear tubes to glue on his back to look like some kind of weird steroids or something that they put him on. Like it used to be a dinosaur, but now he's not, or something. I also glued these things on from Warhammer and then melted them a little bit to form them onto his neck. I also drilled some holes in his back, which kind of cracked him a little bit, which was probably dumb, but whatever. And then here are those little tubes that I cut. I drilled holes in the top. And then I put some epoxy resin in after I stuck them on some wax. Using kind of a weird squishy thing. It's kind of like a syringe or something, you know. I don't know. I also made some kind of piping on his back to, I don't know, some kind of weird steroids or something they're putting him on. I don't know the perfect or the exact story behind this guy, but I thought it looked cool. I also got some terrain stuff ready for the base and carved some brick texture into the wooden base that I had using the cordless Dremel. And I gave it a base coat of black and then overbrushed that with some light gray. Then I got out a heat gun and a shopping bag or whatever, one of those plastic bags, and heated it up and kind of rolled it, heated it up. And here is one that I did. I kind of like the texture it makes. It doesn't, you wouldn't think it was a plastic shopping bag. And I burned some holes into it as well. And I was going to use this as some terrain on the base. What they're supposed to be, I'm not 100% sure. And I mixed up some plaster and some paint and probably some glue and water. And I think I put some sand in there too. And I put that on the base, trying to leave some of the brick visible. And then I stuck on some of the terrain stuff. Some of it was from Mantic, some of it I 3D printed, just a bunch of junk. This diorama is supposed to be set in my rejection world. I guess, yeah, the kind of idea was it's a dinosaur that was put on some kind of weird steroid-like stuff and turned into this. Like I said, I don't have an exact story. And I blended in the head thing. I also added some static grass to the base and some little plastic plants. And I also added some little greenery on one of those weird plastic shopping bag things. And I gave him a kind of very light gray, kind of whitish base coat with some spray paint. Or it was primer, and then I got a very dark or relatively dark blue, and mixed some water into that and brushed it on. Now I couldn't find a whole lot of footage of me painting the dinosaur, but basically I also gave it some detailing, some wash, some dry brush, and I thought he looked okay afterwards. And some stuff like that. I also gave some of the plastic plants a black wash. And I think that could be a build completed.